All right, good evening and welcome to Game Day Matters. So, gist of the game. Let's talk about the matters of the game. A whole lot happened this Saturday, and like promised, we said we would gather together after game day on Saturdays and on Sundays, especially in the weekend, and discuss about all of the talking points that have arisen, whatever, arizi, whatever you call it, that have popped up during the game, and we'll talk about them. So let's first of all start with the result from today's game. There's a whole lot of result, but in the Netherlands, the team was beaten 7 goals to 1. Jesus Christ! Some score lines are scary. Borussia Mönchengladbach also scored 5 past Bochum, but at least was respectable as they scored 2 in return. Talking about scoring 2 in return, it was Aston Villa 4, Nottingham Forest 2, Brighton and Hove with the red card played a 1-1 draw at home against Everton, who are struggling with relegation. If they survive relegation, will be the story of the season. Remember, they were deducted 10 points this season, and they could also still survive. And one way or the other, still get relegated again because of some other issues. Crystal Palace were good for the money after their coach have left. Talking about Roy Hodgson, they won their game against Burnley. I mean, I can't say already relegated. Mathematically, they might still be able to survive, but you can say that they are going down by 3 goals to nothing, more like a walkover in that game. Manchester United, well, we'll talk about them later. Manchester City, retained their second position by the skin of their teeth as they beat Bournemouth away from home 1 goal to nothing, thanks to Phil Foden. Arsenal still have the magic from Dubai. Maybe the magic does not go outside England, but it works very well. The genie of the Arabian genie still works for them as they beat Newcastle 4 goals to 1. We'll come back to that and talk about it later. In France, it was Lorient nil, Nantes 1, and then it was Strasbourg nil, Brest 3. I guess it was the weekend, the Saturday, where the home teams conspired to lose. Well, in Germany, it wasn't like that, as Borussia Mönchengladbach beat Bochum 5 goals to 2. Stuttgart and Cologne played a 1-1 draw, and then just to continue that draw, Union Berlin played a 2-2 draw with Heidenheim, and then Werder Bremen also continued the draw by playing a 1-1 draw with Darmstadt. It was going to be a 1-1 draw between Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena and RB Leipzig, but somehow late England captains magic. Yes, that talking about Harry Kane was all that was needed to make sure Bayern got all 3 points. So mathematically, they are still in the title race. Anything can happen in Italy. It wasn't a night of any draw. It was win or be beaten. That was the situation. As Sassuolo was beaten at home by Empoli, no empathy from Empoli as they beat them 3 goals to 2. Yes, Salernitana, sorry, were beaten at home by Monza 2 goals to nothing, and Genoa rightfully beat one man down Udinese 2 goals to nothing. In the Netherlands, where the team was beaten with a tennis score line. Warwick lost at home to Sittard 1 goal to nothing, but Zwolle were beating Zwolle by 7 goals to 1 by PSV, while Nick Nijmegen won their game at home against Sparta Rotterdam by 2 goals to nothing. In the Spanish La Liga, where Barcelona were not interested in whatever happened with the postponed game between Granada and Valencia, as they beat Getafe 4 goals to nothing. Alaves and Mallorca played a 1-1 draw. Almeria and Atletico de Madrid also played a 2-2 draw. Now let's come to the game that I skipped. It was Jose Peseiro ball against Manchester United. It was Haram, whatever you call it, but Manchester United were beaten at home. That was the story. So Fulham went away to Old Trafford. There was a time where it was almost impossible for you to go to Old Trafford and get a draw, not to talk of a win. But these days, teams go to Old Trafford and get result without even blinking, without winking. They get result. Man, times have really changed in the Premier League. When you look at Manchester United home record this season, they've played 7 games at home. They've drawn 1 and lost 5. That's how bad Manchester United. They played 13 games, played 13, won 7, drawn 1, and lost 5 at home. Scored 19 goals and conceded 20. Well, they are not also different on the road, but they've done well away from home than they have done at home, because if you go by their away form, they'll be fourth on the log. Man City will be first, Arsenal will be second, Liverpool will be third, away from home, and Manchester United will be fourth. Tottenham Hotspur will still be sixth position away from home. Well, at home, Manchester United have scored 17 and conceded 16. In 13 games, they've won 7, drawn 1, and somehow managed to lose 5. So their home record and their away record is absolutely the same. 13 games, won 7, drawn 1, lose 5. The reason why they went up in their away record is the fact that other teams are also struggling away from home. That is how bad Manchester United have been this season. So overall, Manchester United have actually played 26 games, won 14, drawn 2, and lost 10. Jesus Christ. The Manchester United fan, you'll be wondering how, where did it go wrong that in a season that have not ended, Manchester United have already lost in double figures? Damn, that's quite a long time. I can't remember the last time where this was a normal thing. But before you laugh, Newcastle have also played 26 games this season, won 11, lost 11, drawn 4. Well, somebody say, where's Chelsea? Well, Chelsea are also doing the same, but they play 25. They might just win tomorrow against Liverpool. That would be nice anyway to see them win. If they, when they play their game, it would be nice to see them win. It was Chelsea played 25 games, one less, and won 10, drawn 5, lost 10. Jesus Christ. They've scored 42 and conceded 41. I mean, some teams are really struggling with finding a balance between scoring and conceding goals. Anyway, Arsenal played and won 4 goals to 1. The sad part in that game was the fact that they conceded a goal. Could have kept a clean sheet and they kept it going. They scored quite a lot of goals this season. Aston Villa as well. I think that if I'm asked to pick my manager of the season, I will go with Mr. Good Evening. He's done the impossible with the squad that he's got. Not so easy to take Aston Villa and put them here. Last time I saw Aston Villa play this good and scored this much number of goals, Ron Atkinson was still their manager. 1992, they came second in the league. And what's it called? Dwight York, Regis, Tony Cascarino, Tony Daly and a host of other players were still playing for Aston Villa. That was many years ago. Right now, the going is looking good again. It's reminding us of the days of yore, where former Manchester United manager Ron Atkinson, played was the manager of that team, and he did excellently well. Well, for those of you who are out there watching us, thank you very much for joining in the live. The way the night show works is the fact that any game that you saw come up and let's discuss it. There are a few people who would also join us in terms of the discussion, who would chip in their voice note. Remember, we're planning for the All African Games. We're planning to go, and Ghana is not as easy as I thought. We're trying to get an apartment. The cheapest apartment has been $8,000, from $8,000 to $9, $10, $11, $12 to $15,000. That's my budget is not on that level. I mean, $8,000 is about 12 million naira. Man, if I carry 12 million naira to go pay for accommodation, and I see the drive motorway no get AC, my car is practically tearing apart, literally tearing apart. Like the parts are falling off. And then I come back to that car. Would people not look at me like I'm a madman? Because there are no guarantees that this investment, this is not AFCON, this is not the World Cup. This investment will even give me numbers or would even give me anything. And I'm branching into content that I normally don't do, like basketball, boxing, athletics, and the rest that we don't do. So, I mean, I'm just looking at myself like, should I even cancel the trip? Should I just sit back and say, you know what, forget about it? Yeah, I'm feeling the sleepiness now. Should I cancel the trip or just forget about it? There's no need. But there's a part of me that is curious to go to the All African Games. I must be very honest. There's a part of me that is very curious. Curious in the sense that I've never been to an All African Games. Yes, I was in the Koja 2003, but I was a volunteer worker. I didn't really observe. I was put to work and I was all over the place. I didn't observe it. I want to go now as an observer and go with my team, a team of 5, and see what we can achieve in terms of work and creativity, in terms of creating content. Again, not too many people, see us in that African, African All African Games level. So I want to go there and see if I can do something and also inspire some other people, because those are the 2 reasons why I'm a content creator. 1, do something for my channel and put something there on the record that I've done this. And then secondly, inspire somebody to say, if I can do it, I can do it. We're already seeing that happening across the league, across every other content space, and I want to continue in that life. Having said that, we have games to look at tonight. We should look at it. So, what says you? What game did you see? It was the Englishman. What's his name now? Harry Kane that came to the rescue for Bayern Munich. and save their blushes. Not like, I mean, it will be ridiculous, to be very, very honest, if, for instance, we wake up and we see that how do I put it now, that you know, Bayern Ministry goes on to go and win this title. I mean, there'll be some reason why everybody will be pissed off. Everybody will be looking at them like, what kind of league is this? What kind of league are they running? So there is not even any need to expect that Bayern would win the league title. That's just the truth. But even if they don't win it, they shouldn't just fall apart so bad that everybody looks and say, what's going on here? So that's the situation with what we're saying about. But we're going to talk about some of the things that we learned from the matches that we saw today. If you saw the Manchester United match, please give us your opinion on the game. If you saw the Man City game, tell us what you saw. If you saw the Bayern game, tell us what you saw. Any of the games that you've seen today, the Barcelona scoring 4 goals, any game you see, give us your analysis, your opinion and all that. I will also go to some very key people to give us their preview and review of matches in the MPFL for tomorrow and the games that went down today. I would have Andrew and I sent a beautiful review, but unfortunately I can't run it because of the background music that was playing when he was recording. So I don't want YouTube to come in and hold me down on technicalities of copyright, because I make sure, I mean, when it comes to certain things, I'm a law-abiding citizen and I try not to break rules at any given time. So on the comment section, you can put your analysis and your commentary. If it is the Arsenal game, I saw the Arsenal game for 90 minutes. That's the one I can talk about. If it is the Arsenal game you saw, this is not, I'm the Alpha and Omega. It is all of us that agree to do this post-match. So you give me your take, your experience, and then if there's any question you want to ask as well, put it in the comment section. I will do well to deal with that as we go. But then let me start with quite a few conversation. Mario Leo from Germany would have been with us on the show tonight, but unfortunately he's not. He will be with us tomorrow, and the reason for that is because his son is having a birthday tonight. I had a birthday today, and then he's inviting 8 of his friends to come over for sleepover. Man, life don't change. In my days, who go even do birthday for me? Buy day for me, not to talk of say sleepover for which person at mama house. Christiana. Children of nowadays, they really no. My daughter tell me that they say she wants to have a pajamas party. I said, I'm not going to stop you. If it's comfortable, if you like it, let's go. Well, let me go to Joss and check the views, the way Rairam, one of the Rairam Zamora, one of the leading voice of the female OAPs in Nigeria and one great follower of the Nigerian League. Let us check out our preview of the matches that are going to go down in the MPFL. She has the option to select any game and give us our own thoughts. So let's hear from her what she think about the MPFL game of her choice that will go down and every other thing that she have to say about it. Hello, Rairam, go ahead.
Well, the game I'm looking forward to the most is Plateau United versus Shooting Stars. It's going to be a very interesting game. I mean, very crucial for Plateau United as they'll be looking to, get very comfortable on the top of the table if they can beat Shooting Stars tomorrow. If they can beat Shooting Stars on Sunday at the New Just Stadium. So it's going to be about Shooting Stars also coming to show that they have what it takes to beat Plateau United at home. They have no choice to play for a good result on that Sunday. One of the most informed strikers in the league is Albert Hillary, and they're going to go up against him. So it's about who takes it all tomorrow. I feel Plateau United will be able to get all, the bragging rights against 3SC tomorrow. There's also a Nerad Silas that they need to be wary of. I mean, he's going to be a threat for them constantly in that encounter. And of course, Lobby Stars also hosting Heartlands in that game of reclaiming top spots for them after suffering a defeat in Jos as well. Their performance in the league presently placing them on the space that they are shows that they are ready to, get a continental ticket at the end of the season. Maybe they'll be able to do that again against Heartland. And I would not really say for any other game, but I think for Gombe United against Sporting Lagos, the Tech Boys have had a reason to make noise again. And I feel that they'll be able to do that against Gombe United, at least with a draw away from home. They are resurgent with the addition of players that they've had at the break just the resumption of the second stanza shows that they have what it takes to, avoid relegation, survive, and even maybe challenge to some extent in the league. I think that they'll be able to, find comfort, even though they are not on home soil. Gombe United, I can recall, got points away when they travel to Lagos. So I feel that they'll be able to do that again in the reverse fixture. There's also Niger Tornadoes versus Abia Warriors as well, another game to look forward to this weekend.
All right, thank you very much, Ram Zamora, all the way from Jaws, giving us a take on some of the games that will go down tomorrow. Don't forget that some of the games also went down today. Andrew Randa was checking that one out for us, but unfortunately, I cannot bring Andrew Randa's voice on the show because there was music on the background and music that is not permitted by Google or YouTube for their platform when you are doing your own thing. So as a content creator, you have to abide by those rules. But let me go to one man that practically had his opportunities on this platform and my former place of work as well, but is a solid voice when it comes to the Nigerian league, the leader of the MPFA Tori gang, and he's been doing quite an incredible work. Honestly speaking, if I have my way, I would have also taken him with me to Ghana, but I have a list of 5 people already, 2 ladies. I've really not worked with any lady. I've already been accused of not giving women a chance in my space, but what they don't understand is I've given a lot of women a chance. It's just in my sports team that I've not given women a chance. But when it comes to my team, Alison that went to Big Brother came off this platform, Anipu, Tasha that is now holding it down. There is Kimberly who is on pause. If you're watching the pause podcast, who started also on my platform, there is what's it called, Precious Amori. There is what's her name now? Oh God, I've forgotten her name. Adasa Ajayi. There is Ibuku. There is Dumebi, who is part of the Sports on the Way crew. So when people throw up that allegation, I think that they are really forgetting where we're coming from. But it's not a big deal anyway. Sometimes people always judge from where they meet you. So probably somebody who's watching maybe for the last 6 months or the last 2 or 3 months will say, oh, women don't, if it doesn't give women a chance. That's not really the truth. I do give everybody, I look for talent. I don't look for gender. I look for talent. And when I remember when I saw Ram in Jaws, I told her a lot of works that I would love to do with her, but it requires money. If we don't have the money, there's nothing we can do. I was hoping that we're going to continue production of the league this season, and somebody like Rairon was someone that I had already penciled out to really work with, do pitch side, do a lot of content in the northern part of Nigeria, give her full employment and all that. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But I'm grateful to God that she's working at I think JFM or so. She's working at the radio station in Jos. She just finished her youth service, so. Good luck to her, and hopefully when eventually we get the sponsors, so probably our numbers go up to the point where we can be counting on $10,000 every month. Maybe we would come back with that one, because I really do think that on this platform we should be able to do weekly or twice a week magazine show or news show about what is going on in the MPFL. Like I always say, if we don't build our league, nobody's going to help us to build it. While you're putting your comment on the comment section, please do well to like this live, and also tell us your say. Give us your take on the matters of the games that you saw. Focus on the game that you saw and give us your take, your opinion, your analysis, your whatever. Then if you have games to predict about tomorrow, please do well to do that. But let's go to Felix the Great. Felix Unamdi, one guy that I really love, Igbomuche, Felix Nnamdi Igbomuche, you can call him Felix the Great, the leader of the MPFA Tori gang. Fantastic guy.
Match day 21 of the Nigerian Premier Football League 2023-2024 season kicked off on Saturday with 3 games in Gombe, Ilorin and Benin City. It was the first top-flight home defeat for Doma United as Enugu Rangers held on to get a hard-fought win at the Pantami Stadium in the early kickoff. Collins Ugueze's goal was the difference as Rangers picked up their first win on the road since beating Aqua United 3-0 at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in March 2022. Castina United showed fight to earn a point against Kwara United in Ilorin despite finishing the game with 9 men. A late Adewale Adeyinka own goal cancelled out Adesina Gata's first half opener as the Harmony boys missed the chance to put some distance between them and the relegation zone. In Benin, Bendel Insurance and Eimba served the drab 0-0 draw on Finidi George's return to the dugout after over a month with the national team. The result took the defending champions level on points with Remo and Lobby Stars, but they remain third on the log on goal difference. The action, however, continues on Sunday with 6 games across various centres. Gombe United will play host to Sporting Lagos in the relegation 3-pointer as both teams continue to fight to retain their status as a top-flight team for next season. Plateau United will look to continue their perfect home record and make it 11 wins from 11 games when Shooting Stars come visiting at the new Jos Stadium. High-flying Lobby Stars will finish the game week on top of the log if they can get a win against bottom place Heartland, who take their survival fight to the Lafayette Township Stadium. While informed Kano Pillars can move into the continental places with a big win against Sunshine Stars on Kennedy Boboye's first away game as boss of the winner waves. In Eket, Akwa United will welcome Bayelsa United. With both teams tied on points and only separated by a negative goal difference, a win for either side will be much appreciated. And the final match of the week will see Niger Tornadoes playing host to Abia Warriors at the adopted home ground, the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna. Remo Stars vs Rivers United has been postponed because of United's involvement in the CAF Confederations Cup this weekend. The Pride of Rivers have travelled to Angola where they face Academica in a crucial group game. Except for the games in Gombe and Jos that kicks off by 3 p.m., all other games kicks off simultaneously by 4 p.m.
All right, thank you very much. That is Felix Nnamdi Egwemuche for his concise. I think that currently is the one person, the go-to guy when you want somebody to give you very, very brilliant analysis or preview or review of the MPFL. And thank God that our path crossed because these guys are fantastic soldiers of the league. You don't know how hard it is to actually report the MPFL, to be able to get information the way they do. So I really salute them a whole lot. I'm hoping that before the show will run out, we'll be able to get China Acheru to give us his own take, his own side of the story, the header's view on the conversation. Because if we talk about Nigerian Premier Football League, somebody like China Acheru is Lord of the Ring. Having said that, if you feel the need to call in, you want your voice, some people like, oh, you're always reading our comment, we would like to talk, please open the phone lines. We like our voices. When we go back and play back, we want to hear our voices. We want to be able to share it with our friends and say, I contributed on the show. If you want to call in, the number to call is 070-2500-0069. Very easy to... Sorry, guys, for that... sound issues. 07025000069. That's the number to call. Call on that number and straight away you can make your contribution. You can tell us what you think. The night show, actually, I was expecting that we would have a lot more people calling than even people writing on the comment section. But I guess the way the YouTube thing is, you guys like to keep your comment on the comment section. So let's take it. First off, let's read the notes that I've put down here. Bruno Fernandes was far from happy with referee Michael Oliver at the full-time whistle at Old Trafford on Saturday. The Portuguese playmaker appeared to be fuming at Oliver, with the captain, vocalizing his frustration at the full-time whistle. Manchester United went 1 goal down after Kevin Bassey's opener in the second half. Though they found an equaliser through Harry Maguire, very, very unlikely people scoring today. Jacob Kivior also scored for Arsenal in the closing minute. Harry Maguire also warned naive Manchester United they must find solution quick if they are to reignite hope of a top 4 finish. United came into Saturday's clash with Fulham unbeaten in 2024, but that round came into a dramatic conclusion with Alex Iwobi scored a 97th minute winner to hand the visitors victory. Maguire, who looked very secured, who looked to have secured a point, for Manchester United with an 89th minute equaliser, was disappointed at the end of the match, which piles the pressure on boss Erik ten Hag. There's already talk that Erik ten Hag might be kicked out. Mason Greenwood will be brought back, we apologize to, and be brought back because somehow Jim Ratcliffe is not buying into all the way Manchester United has been run. Xabi Alonso is also being mentioned. I will tell you about the coaches that have been mentioned for Liverpool as well. Harry Kane struck twice, including a stoppage time winner to guide Bayern Munich to a 2-1 victory over RB Leipzig on Saturday, snapping a 3-game losing run in all competition and staying 8 points off leaders Bayern Leverkusen. Kane had hit the post with a 5th-minute header but completed a quick break with a crisp low finish after good early work from Jamal Musiala to put Bayern ahead in the 56th minute. Well, RB Leipzig equalized, but that's not enough, as somehow Harry Kane found a way to sneak into the place of opportunity and buried a goal there. Leon Bailey, idolized Thierry Henry and Ronaldinho growing up and produced a display worth of those modern greats to strengthen Aston Villa's bid for the Champions League football from near outcast to main man. Bailey's transformation has been incredible this season, and the Villa winger was electric again here, taking full advantage of Nottingham Forest boss Nuno Espirito Santos' bizarre decision to pick centre-back Musa Nyakete on the left of his back four in front of Villa co-owner Nassif Sawiris. Okay, Bailey created the opener for Oli Watkins inside 4 minutes, and then Villa were cruising thanks to Douglas Lewis' first half double, yet goes either side of halftime from Nyakete and Morgan Gibbs. Morgan Gibbs White gave Villa the jitters. Is only when Bailey scored the fourth soon after an hour. Well, Bailey had a good game for me. He was the man of the match, yeah. But we can't take away what Douglas Lewis also did in that game. I think the entire Aston Villa team have just found a way of playing. First off, they know how to score. It is almost impossible for them to play a goalless draw or lose without them scoring. So they know how to score goals. They just keep it up. They might deny either Tottenham Hotspur or Manchester United a chance to play in the Champions League next season. No team can match Bournemouth for tales of relentless suffering at the hands of Manchester City. Not many have pushed the champions this close for a while either. Make no mistake, this was both a brilliant scrap and a pleasant surprise, given there were no clues in form or history to suggest Anthony Iriola's side would get within punching distance of a positive result. But they did, even if the single relevant fact here is that they ultimately incurred a 14-minute defeat out of 14 top flight engagement with City. They incurred their 14 defeat out of 14 engagement with City. Those numbers are pretty black and white, but this game was anything but black and white. Edison was by some distance the man of the match, and in many ways that tells the story of how Bournemouth played today. Today looked like the day where Bournemouth was going to break that record of always losing to Man City. But again, Manchester City showed the stuff that champions are made of. I still hang on to my prediction that Man City are not going to win the league. You can argue or disagree with me politely. Don't be rude or insulting, but that's my position. I just think that football works with numbers, and there are certain numbers that are sacrosanct until the powers that be decide, okay, let's flip these numbers a bit. For Italy, the number is 16. Every 16 years, Italy plays in the finals of the World Cup. For countries like Germany, Brazil, there is a unique coloration to the number 14, and Argentina 24, the number 24. So there are some things you just look at. For Nigeria, it is a number over 10 years. Over 10 years, after one Nations Cup win, it takes another 10 years plus before Nigeria wins another Nations Cup or wins another Nations Cup. So the number is over 10, okay? There are numbers in the Premier League that I just feel it is hard to break, and it is the number 3 that is the most, powerful one. No team in the Premier League era have won 4 straight titles. It is 3. So Alex Ferguson is still alive. I think that they will keep that record for him until maybe one day when he passes on, and then one coach, one manager will come in and win 4 straight. But this season, that's my prediction. But doesn't mean that Man City will not give it a go. The way they're playing, I'm looking like I'm a foolish person. But I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm going to cut my hair if Man City win 4 straight titles. That's not happening. That's not happening. I just escaped one in the half contacts to Cote d'Ivoire. I'm not going to take that risk again. Well, for those of you who are Liverpool fans and who are wondering, where do we go from here? Or speaking in Latin or Portuguese, cover this. Let me give you a little bit of respite. As Liverpool have identified Ruben Amorim and Julian Nagelsmann as potential targets should favorite Xabi Alonso decline the move to Anfield. So Alex Ferguson is still shopping life and shopping money as his horse won almost $1 million. Spirit Dancer, that's the name of the horse, landed another colossal payday as he won almost £1 million in competition. Erik ten Hag has called upon DJ Anthony, the turntable, to step up following his decision to keep the £88 million Pan signing on the bench until the 99th minute of Saturday's disheartening home loss against Fulham. Maybe, just maybe, if the DJ had started, it would have lit up the whole Old Trafford and changed the tide of the game. Well, that could be some supposition and some assumption. Assumptions, they say, is the lowest level of knowledge, so I'm not going to sit here and assume. But let me also assume that you guys have got a whole lot to say. So let me come to you guys and see what you have put on the table, on the table for every one of us to read and talk about. What's the talking point that you have? Arsenal and Arteta. There seems to be something working for Arsenal and Arteta. During the January transfer window, we were all complaining. I was one of those who said Arsenal need a striker, they need a centre forward. But look at it for a minute. Edin Nketiah doesn't start games. Gabriel Jesus is out injured. It's not been playing, But one way or the other, Arsenal scores at least 3 goals since January, since this year. Apart from the FC Porto games, at least they've scored 3 goals in almost every game that they played this year in the Premier League. Okay, with FC Porto, it was 1-0 in favor of FC Porto. But today they won 4-1. Before that one against Burnley, they won 5-0. Before Burnley, they won 6-0 against West Ham. And then against Liverpool, it was 3-1. We're talking Liverpool here. Come on, not just some weak side. Against Liverpool, it was 3-1. And then against Nottingham Forest, it was 2-1. But before then, it was 5-0 against Crystal Palace. Oh my God, it was 2-2. No, not 2-2, sorry. It was Liverpool beating Arsenal 2-0 in the FA Cup in just 7 days into the new year. And since that time, Arsenal have been winning and winning and winning. Don't forget that ending the year, they went on this 3 straight defeats where they lost. They first of all drew with, who did they draw with? They draw with Liverpool 1-1 in the Premier League. And then they lost to West Ham 2-0. They lost to Fulham. That's when everybody said, oh, this is where they lose the title. And again, if the season ends and you look at the league, you will tell yourself that these 2 games are the reason why Arsenal are not champions. The game against West Ham that everybody expected them to win, that they lost 2-0. And then the game against Fulham that they lost 2-1. When you look at the league table, go back now and look at the league table, you tell yourself that if you put those 6 points on the board for Arsenal, Arsenal would definitely be at 64 points. That'll be 4 points over Liverpool. But unfortunately, football is not about assumption and supposition. Analysts can do that. The reality is what you win is what manifests as point for you. And if you don't win, nobody's going to count them for you. Unfortunately, they didn't win those 2 games. And that represents the things that they will regret. We've always seen that with Arsenal since the days of Arsene Wenger up until now. And it is always happening right from the days of John the Baptist. Even now, the kingdom of Arsenal suffered violence, and the violence must take it by force. Henry Morrison, please, sir, break down for us what you think Jorginho bring into this Arsenal team. I think Jorginho is the player with the best positional discipline in the Arsenal team. So, because of how positionally aware he is, and the system that Arsenal play, he is the guy who drift between midfield and the balance of the back 3. So, when, for instance, on the right-hand side, Ben White is going to support Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard, and then on the other side, like in today's game, it was Jacob Kivior, Martinelli, who doesn't track back that much. If got speed going forward, he could be marauding and he could be menace, but he doesn't track back that much. When he goes forward, and the back 2 of Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba, who's for me the best game reader in defense in the whole of Europe currently. We saw him struggle against FC Porto in some of the occasions where they went forward. But generally, or let's just put it in the Premier League, it's top class, fantastic defender. But, to add up numbers to get the balance, because of the way Arsenal like to play from the back, you need one more player to keep that tri-quartet movement, so that it doesn't look like, okay, there are only 2 players and the goalkeeper that can pass the ball amongst themselves. He keeps that balance. And then when they are going forward again, he helps the forward passing. You know that one of the things that people have not noticed about Rice is Rice always sideways passes more than he passes forward. He's not the get the ball, let's go forward. But with Jorginho, sitting at the base of that defensive midfield and also joining the defense, he's giving Rice the opportunity to say, you know what, I can go forward. And then another advantage that Rice brings to the team is he's got better crosses from the corner kick than Bukayo Saka. This is not me saying Bukayo Saka is not doing well. Bukayo Saka, is doing great. But the thing about his crosses, sometimes there's not enough force or spin or whip around it. That's the word I was looking for. Whip around the ball compared to the one that comes from Declan Rice. So now, because there is Jorginho in the game, he give him that. If you look at the games where Jorginho and Declan Rice have played, you will notice that Arsenal's forward movement have been better. And if you look at this game, I think it was when they removed him that everything turned and Arsenal considered that goal. Because if you look at the balance of play, the way the team is set up, the way Arsenal plays, you would notice that at the base of that defense, it was him that's there. And then you have Kivior and Ben White who goes forward. And so he joins them, like what Stone was doing for Man City 2 seasons ago, that made it so easy for them to always keep their balance when they are playing. And sometimes you need all of that because it is very, very important. It was until it was removed that all of a sudden Newcastle started coming forward, and then Joe Willock scored that goal that he scored. If he's there, it makes it easy for Odegaard. If you notice today, even though Odegaard still struggles to pass ball to the side of Martinelli, but it was easy for those 1-2 quick play interchanges apart, because for Odegaard, he no longer have to worry with, if we lose the ball, I have to track back, because there is just on the right hand side, there's a triangle of Jorginho, Saliba, and White. And then sometimes Saka would drop back to make it a cube of four players there. So Odegaard can easily just stay. Now, Kai Havertz is doing something that I never saw. I mean, at the beginning when he was signed, I was one of those who was complaining that that money should have been spent in getting Mohamed Kudus or probably getting Maddison, who plays for Tottenham Hotspur. But I think that I've seen what Arteta was looking at. Arteta needed a player who is a ghost. That's the word. I think I choose to call him a ghost. He's the Arsenal ghost. He's not a midfielder. He's not a striker. He's a false nine, but it's not a false nine as well. He could drop and disappear. And because of how he moves, it is hard for the opposition defenders to track him. And because they are confused about where he's going to be at any given time, they are caught between two lines. If you look at the second goal that Arsenal scored, it was a defender for, I think it was Shah or so, was a defender for Newcastle that was caught between two lines. Whether I was defender, whether I was going to run at, whether I was going to come in, that made it possible for Martinelli to be onside and then, take the ball to the byline, cross it back for Kai Havertz to put it in the net. They just need to sustain this play and hope that over the top at their head, some of the teams will drop points and then they can overtake it. But if Arsenal doesn't win the title this season, I know that I'm going to pin it on the West Ham and Fulham game and say those were the two games where Arsenal could have won the title, but then unfortunately they didn't do it. Well, let's see how it goes. Having said that, Lord Mayor say Jorginho is a line breaker. Come on, you Gunners. That's what it says. COYG is come on, you Gunners. Henry Morris say, was it that Man United missed Erasmus Holdham? Oh, Jesus Christ. Erasmus Holdham or na Super Eagles power past them? Well, the way he's been playing, I would say they miss him. But again, most times when we focus on the big team that have lost, it makes us to lose the essence of the hard work and the shift that the smaller team have put in. I saw that games. I didn't see it full by some bit and part of that game. I think that Fulham came into this game with the no grief for anybody mentality. And probably it helped that two of their players who went to the African Cup of Nations came back with silver medal hanging on their neck. There's just, that kind of lift that a team gets when their players go out to internationals and then come back, with medals. It just kind of give them a lift. And I think that happened. They played this game with the, we're not going to give anybody's chance. And it's just kind of like magical or poetic that two players from the so-called no grief for anybody nation were the ones that scored the two goals that gave them the win. And the timing of the goals, first of the one that was scored by X Bassey, that gave them, the impetus to keep going forward, knowing fully well that they've got one goal ahead. And then Manchester United, in the never say die attitude, scored in the 89th minute. You would have thought that this game will end in the draw. But somehow, no grief for anybody. The one that is, the chiefest of them one, the one that everybody have higher expectation for, showed that coming back from the African Cup of Nations. Don't forget, midweek, it was Osimhen who was scoring the equaliser for his team against, who did they play against Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken, yes, in the Champions League. And then, you have Alex Iwobi, who had a pretty average or decent performance at the African Cup of Nations, scoring that goal that just gave them the win. That one moment where you have a breather and say to yourself, "Ooh, I got that one in," and I think it's good for him. I will give them a whole lot more credit because of how they did it. Harry Maguire, do you think that Arteta should continue with Kai and Trossard as a first nine or reinstall Jesus as the nine? The thing about Gabriel Jesus is that he doesn't score a lot of goals, but he also does what a Trossard or Kai Havertz would do. The thing now is if you play Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus at the same time, you will lose something in midfield. I like the midfield. The balance in the midfield is a lot more important for me, especially with an Arsenal team that doesn't have a top nine, a real top nine. The balance in the midfield, knowing that you can press and get the ball quickly from the opposition, you can win the ball back and then get it. What Kai does is Kai is both a midfield, he's a 8.5. So he's 8, but at the same time, he can, put that half that make him become a 10 or a substitute 10, or he can also be 8.5 to become a substitute 9. So, but I don't think Gabriel Jesus will do that. Yes, he drops, he works out, but there is this thing about Gabriel Jesus that you almost kind of like feel he sees himself as an elder statesman based off of the title that is won with Manchester City. And sometimes there is that overconfidence. It also happened with Zinchenko. Zinchenko kind of like feel like there is something in him. He's got the God-given right to be the one who motivates everybody. More like, when I never won anything, I've won it all, and I'm going to tell you this either. And in the process of doing that, wanting to do too much, it makes mistake. So they say in football, if you ain't broke, you don't fix it. The team is winning seriously. I think that Gabriel should be this time. And, coming from the bench, I would rather have him coming from the bench than, want to disturb the structure that Arsenal have got right now. You never can tell with Gabriel. Even if he comes in and starts, he might get injured again. So you don't want that to happen with him. But I think if I am Arteta, I'll continue with the team that I have. Kai Havertz is really doing a lot of work. I mean, his ghost movement makes you think that he's not doing anything. But I've seen enough in the last couple of games that I've seen him play to say, I take my word back. I'm sorry for criticizing him the way I did. I guess I was too hard, or I was judging from what I saw him play at Chelsea, and I didn't feel like that was what Arsenal needed. Arsenal needed to step up from what they were last season. But what Kai Havertz have done in the last couple of games, that I've sit down and say, okay, I want to even watch this guy from a technical point of view. He's done incredible work. I just kind of like, think he should continue to play, because if you've done well, you continue to play, your confidence level will high, and you would, get a whole lot of opportunities, and you will do way more than you've been doing. So I don't think they should break his stride now and put him on the bench again and say, oh, Gabriel Jesus have come, because it's kind of make the player feel like, well, I'm not really the number one choice. I'm not really as good as I thought I am, because even when I play and I'm playing my best, I'm playing at my best, I'm playing my skin out, and then somebody comes back from injury, I'm still going to go to the bench. And football, as much as skills, talents, fitness, all those stamina is good, confidence is the absolute good of them all. Is the Abito Shaker of them all, or probably is the Ganduka. What's the word does that in the Boski powers? Is the ultimate power, the Agbaranla of it all. And you've got to be able to get more games on your sleeve, like continuous games, to be able to have that confidence. Target Tech say Arsenal will carry third. Poor start when we had the opportunity to have some point. We try you, just that this hope is too much. Okay, well, I don't know, but I mean, the opportunity is there for Arsenal to win the title. I mean, you got to prove yourself. That's the way I always say these things. You got to prove yourself. They've done their best with Liverpool. I mean, they've done their best with Liverpool. They still have a return leg to play with Man City. They can win that one, and they can also hope that Liverpool will drop some points at some place. There's some opposition that Liverpool can go and drop points, and then it's up to them to just win the games that they can win, and then see what happens. Their destiny is still in their hands. It's not just the fact that, okay, if they win and Man City don't win, they will lose the title. Their destiny is still in their hands, because they still have I think they still have Man City to play, if I'm not mistaken. They beat Man City once this season. They still have Man City to play again in the league. They played Liverpool twice in the league this season. I think they draw 1-1, and then they won the other one 3-1. So I think it's working in that direction, where you say last season it was also the same thing, where they pick up 4 points from Liverpool. So the long run on this conversation with Arsenal is that you can't write them off the title yet. Well, Liverpool was my autumn favorite to win the league title, but there is a window. What I like about Arsenal this season compared to last season, where I was clear that Man City was going to come win the title, that Man City was going to win the treble, is the fact that Man City are not really scoring the goals with Haaland. It seems like the team is over bloated up front. Almost everybody's running for the same ball, and the team is struggling a bit, but they are grinding result. The bad thing from Man City's point of view to the rest of the two teams that are chasing the title is that when Ruben Dias and John Stones are playing together, they seem to keep clean sheet consecutively. They seem to be a little confident. But I saw the game against Bournemouth today. Bournemouth is not fantastic. Yes, historically, Bournemouth have always lost to Man City. And then again, they lost to this. So whatever it is I want to analyze now doesn't really even tally in the first place. But I saw that game and I saw how Bournemouth was having a go at them. The midfield is not really as solid as they used to be. The ability to win the ball back always is not there like it used to be. Again, Doku. Everybody talk about Doku. Yes, he can dribble, he can run, but I think that his final product is just like he's like Moses Simon hybrid. Unfortunately, even at club level, I think Moses Simon is better than him. But we'll see what happens. I still have faith in Arsenal to be in the shindig. If they keep playing like this, they keep winning and scoring goals like this. I mean, without improving number 9 in their team, I think they will be in the title race to the end of the season. That's my opinion. I might be wrong, but that's my opinion. I think Arsenal will be in the title race to the end of the season. Lord Mayor say, Harry, I think Jesus will be needed in the Champions League. Yes, Champions League does look like the competition that Gabriel Jesus is needed. The Premier League right now, keep it the way it is. I think what Alo Asham for me say, I saw Nigeria versus Manchester United performance from Alex Iwobi today. It was kill or be key, eat or be eaten. Olanari Ogbari says, question Edafe, what's it with FIFA and their romance with this I show speed guy? Is the numbers. That's not two ways about it. Have you seen the guy's numbers? It's the same romance between WWF, WWE, wrestling with Paul Logan and boxing with Paul Logan. See, we live in a world of numbers. If you have numbers, you are very, very important. I show speed have numbers, it has access. It is very, very important. You know, numbers is the game now. If, for instance, let me give you a good example. If I wake up tomorrow morning and I have 20 million subscribers, I'll be on every FIFA event. Are you not asking questions? You're talking of I show speed talk football and all that. You've heard him talk. Kabil, why is everybody, why is he going to games? Kabil would go to game and take players' jersey and give it to fans. Do you know how powerful you can be? Where all of a sudden, because you do your hand like this, so it's they take the opportunity to build their numbers. They have become power block. It's about numbers, nothing else. Every major organization is looking for numbers. I remember I sat on one interview for one media organization. I'm not going to mention their name. They were doing interview, and some of the people who came in could really speak. They are good. But then I asked them, what is on your social media? What's your number on Instagram, your number on TikTok, your number on Facebook, your number on Twitter? And for those ones who really are very good, and they say, I don't really do social media, I don't have interest in social media, I quickly asterisk their names that this one not be part of what you need. And the management, their new organization, were like, why? And I said, listen, it's not about them being good. Anybody can be good. As a matter of fact, some of the people that are not good, that was, but have numbers, will do you good because you're a new business. You're a new business and you want to grow. And because you want to grow, you need people who can dump their crowd on you immediately. So if, for instance, somebody have 30 or 100,000 followers and his ability to talk is not really there, you can teach them very easily. You can teach them within 3 months. But if that person that have all the fantastic know-how, have the George Sense voice or the sickness and the beauty and the glamour of Ogechukwu Kamaogo, but our numbers are not good, I was telling somebody that currently Oge go for any audition, she might not get a job. Yeah, unless maybe out of pity or out of recognition. A new Oge with all that knowledge, because our numbers are not good. Social media numbers are not good. The same thing with somebody like Tony Becker with the voice of the gods, right? But because that's what today is. So back to your question, the romance is based off of the numbers that the brother brings. And if you have that kind of number, you can even put a call, and the person that will pick the call will be Infantino, straight up. Your numbers is everything. Have I not told you guys the story of how I tried to interview some players, even at St. Wenger and his team? You send the email to their team and you try to get their approval, and they tell you straight up, your numbers are not good enough, so you can't we can't do the interview. When you get XYZ for Sadio Mane, for instance, it was 500,000. For Arsene Wenger, it was 1 million. You have to get 1 million before people confuse me. You have to get 1 million subscribers on your channel to be able to interview them. I've been chasing Asamoah again. I ain't give me a number with the hand. I ain't give me a number, but I've been chasing him since. But I guess it's people have gone to see my numbers because I sent information and everything as they requested. Like, don't waste your time with this one. This guy says it's an upcoming. So that's what speed represents. I mean, for somebody like me, I know that speed is like in my own industry, in my space right now. Speed is God. Speed is what I used to be when I was in Brilla. Like, I don't go to sleep thinking, "Hi God, how to do tomorrow's show? Who is better than me? Who's in the, I don't listen to anybody. I don't listen to anybody in Nigeria. Like, I knew that everybody wake up in the morning to listen to me, and then they go to their show to go and use whatever I say to do anything. That's what speed is right now. Numbers is the king. Number data. Oh my God, is the king. So don't feel bad when you see people like that. There's another social media influencer that played in that a Chinese or Korean social media influencer that played in that All-Star game. I mean, why was it there? It was his numbers. Because without numbers, his audience will follow the game. That's what they need. These games are going to be streamed on FIFA Plus and the rest of them. And that's what FIFA need. FIFA wants to grow FIFA Plus to the point where they can now be the ones that are broadcasting and making their money directly. They put it on subscription. FIFA Plus, there's a certain number that FIFA Plus will have. It will no longer be available for free. The app and the web will now become a subscriber base. So if you look at it like, okay, let's hypothetically say FIFA gets 2 billion people on that app, and they put a content and people are engaging it like consistently like that. You'll be so shocked that the World Cup will not be on that app. Like if you have the FIFA Plus, you can watch the World Cup matches. You know that some World Cup qualifiers from South America are already been on that app. This is test run. They're stress testing it and seeing the number of views. If you get to like 2 billion and they lock it down and say subscribe with, let's just say $2 or $5. Let's even do $2, right? $2 for 2 billion people. That's 4 billion just to view on that app. They will see say broadcast right to see the other things. So it's about numbers. This is the era we are in. The person with the numbers is the king, is the god. Lord Mayor says Man City are struggling to create chance. I think Kevin's absence this season is affecting them, but they're still a brilliant team. I agree with you. He said Erik Ten Hag has lost his spine, no pattern of play. Lord Mayor said, bros, wear your tea by the side. Tea is for morning, and Mr. Daffy sleeping like a baby. Nobody can disturb her. She's the one that does the tea. I'm not a tea person. I'm not gonna wake up, now boil water, put Lipton tea, put cinnamon, put milk, put sugar. Nah, that's not me. But if my wife gives it to me, come on. Love made me do it. I will drink it. Let me say, I watched Atletico Madrid today, but I feel Diego Simeone should try another team. Atletico Madrid doesn't have any serious competition. Again, I think the owners are lacking ambition. I don't really think it's the owners. The funny thing is now that they are not doing well, they spend more money now than they spent when they were challenging for the title. I just think that Diego Simeone needs a new challenge. He needs to go somewhere else. Atletico Madrid have achieved beyond their size. They built a new stadium. People take that for granted. They've won the league title twice. They played the Champions League finals. They were robbed in one of them. And they've really reached a place where a normal Atletico Madrid is not expected to be at. So I give them kudos, but I would advise that it's hard to not divorce from Diego Simeone. For all the things that he's achieved, is the kind of situation where Alex Ferguson or Arsene Wenger was with Arsenal and Man United. It's not down to him to say, you know what, I want to move. And then they will celebrate him, he will go, and then somebody else will come in and try. Maybe Unai Emery will be begged to come to Atletico Madrid and come and work his magic. That's what I think. I might be wrong anyway. Henry Morris say, watch the City versus Bournemouth game, and I noticed void left by Gundogan. I've been saying that Bernardo Silva is not it, and Moses Simon Doku is an anyhow player. That Doku, the way people hail him, I've watched him in a couple of games, and I was like, nah. Even though I don't think that Jack Grealish is all that super class player, he's still millions and miles better than Doku. Doku has got speed, he's got the ability to dribble, but his final product, shit. Henry Umari said, do you think playing all center back as a back four has been a great positive defensive wise? Well, it depends on how good the players are. So football is the technical part of football is how you are able to adapt. I think a team tried that today against Aston Villa and lost. So you playing those back four. You remember when Ben White was first brought in as a centre back, and then the following season Arteta started playing him wide. We all complained, but how he's adapted, and people don't give him credit for that. The way he defend very well, and also go front to join the attack and make the work of. If you notice, when Ben White is not playing behind Bukayo Saka, Bukayo Saka struggles. But when he's got Ben White behind him, the job seems to be easy because even with his eye closed, he knows that if he cuts in, Ben White is going to fill that space. And then if we lose the ball, Ben White is also coming back straight up. And so that makes it easy. And then on the other side, Jacob Kivior, yes, is a centre back. He's also got the ability to whip in cross very well. He's also got the ability to defend. He just needs some consistent games. Yes, he's had some poor runs sometimes, but he needs some consistent games. So thanks to injuries to Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, and he's not playing. If he plays well, he sees it. I mean, I remember in January, there was already conversation that they should let him go. They should send him on loan, or like Tavares, who's not playing the game of his life. Okay, now we're happy that if the season ends and what's his name, Thomas Partey carry Jasmine from Ghana and leave us now, Tavares will come back, and he will sit on the bench because but you know that he can come in and add value because as well, what's his name now, Jorginho, we sad to say him go, but would obviously be nearing his exit. If he doesn't leave this window, the next window, the end of the season, he might leave in January or next summer. So you can have Tavares come in to really fill in the void. Players like Tavares and players like William Saliba are benefit of low buy and big gain. So we can see how that one go as well. Tosilema, they say Man City look like they are suffering lately. Stepmanic Elegwete, Wambali don't get competition or Ato Okonkwo. Have you seen him play? It's not to say he has agreed to play for Nigeria, then automatically is competition. I think Wambali is still the anointed number one until he start making series of serious mistake. Ato Okonkwo is coming. The person that's got to competition is Francis, because what it means, Wambali came, he became number 2. After Francis is coming now, he's going to become number 3. And before you know it, he'll be kicked out of the team. Make him go play for the Igbo. We sign up. Demola Ibrahim Abiodi say, I don't miss. So he say, Kivior is beginning to adapt well to that left back. Yeah. He said Fulham come to Old Trafford with no fear today. Yeah, they came with Peseiro ball and they executed it very well. And then he went on to say this goal will come as a relief for Alex Iwobi. I am happy for him and Bassey. Bukashan Repair says Gabriel Jesus is going to be very important in the second leg against Porto. He is the key for Arsenal. Mr. Chaos. I think I agree with you too. The way football is played in Champions League is pretty different. But I see Porto is an experienced campaigner in Champions League too. But I agree completely. I think that when I look at that first game, it was the one guy, the team needed one guy who can hold the ball and try to sneak their way, cause the chaos. Yes, that's the right word. Cause the chaos in the opposition defense and then free up other people to score. We didn't have that one. We were playing our regular game and the game just didn't click. That day, things just didn't click. We gained possession, we pressed the game, but just didn't click. Demola Ibrahim Abdul says Man City game today is more of luck than City playing well. I agree with you, but when your goalkeeper make those kind of save, it's not really luck anymore. Demola Ibrahim Abdul says City and Liverpool next 5 games is very tricky. I think Arsenal will top the league within those 5 games, and we see how it goes from there. I hope so too, but City is City, and it's hard, but I just don't think that City would win the league. Well, I've got 2 more minutes to the end of the show, so let me not bore you guys with my opinion, but thank you very much. I like the ratio of like and views. This is nice. Demola Ibrahim Abiodun says, why do you say Atletico were robbed in one of the finals? The game against Madrid, come on, stop it. They were robbed. In that final against Madrid, I think they were robbed. I don't think that the referee was fair. It was just clear, that the referee wanted Madrid to win it and keep it going. And that's my opinion. You might have a different opinion about it, but I just think that in that finals they were robbed. Demola Brother Ibrahim say, at first I think Doku is better than Grealish, but now I take my word back. From the first day I saw him, his first touch was like, wow, man, this guy is good. His acceleration was good, but then again, I've seen quite a lot of players in my time, and if you want to play wide, I would judge. There are positions in football that I don't need to watch you for long. Wide position, because that's where I played, and then the midfielders, because they are the ones that supply you with the ball. You don't need to do much. You don't need to push yourself. Take for instance, people hype Odegaard to the top, but I would always rate him 50% because Odegaard is fantastic playing to the left, playing passes to the right. Sorry, but he does not know how to balance it in the Fabregas way, in the Deco way, the Balak way, the Vominia Boban's way, the Zidane way, the Robert Persineski's way, Posco's way of knowing. There's something called split decision, where you take a pass to the left, you take it to the right. You look at your players. You know that okay, now the opposition know that we're always going to play to this side. Let me play the same way I play to this side. Let me play the same way to this side. He doesn't know how to do that. So I'm always, the jury is always out on him for me. So that's the same thing with Doku. Yes, he's got good acceleration. He's got good first touch on the ball. He can dribble. He can dazzle. He can wiggle his way through. But what's the final ball? What's the delivery? His lack of delivery is what is affecting the Man City attack. City was known for scoring this type of goals that Arsenal are scoring is what City is known for. They can't, because first off, on the left side, Bernardo Silva is not a creator. And as much as he's running on the right side, he's running on the right side. He's not really a creator. Bernardo Silva have not done double figures in creating assists any season. Also doesn't score double figures in goals, okay? But because he plays in a team that is nice, and like I say, he always come up once in a while to score some goals that wows everybody. We just always say, oh, Bernardo Silva is a great player, he's a world-class player. Nah, he's just there. He's a good player, but just there. Okay? So Doku coming in again, he just stifle the supply chain and the threats to goal that Man City always have. What is good for Man City is that defensively they are still solid. The midfield is still holding its own, and then they press you. They still have the fear factor. So when they come in, everybody is getting wild by them. I think that their teams, Man City will still drop point. Man City will lose game this season. They will drop point. They will draw. I think there's like still 2 or 3 defeats in front of them. There's still 2 or 3 draws in front of them, and Liverpool and Arsenal can take it. I think again, even if all the players are available, I still just think that the powers that be will not make them win the title this season. Demola Abiodun Brian say Lokonga. You mean not Tavares? It's Lokonga I was talking about, not Tavares. Sorry. CB Lokonga, yeah. That's the guy I was trying to talk about. He said Lokonga, you mean not Tavares. Tavares, Bawo, that's Ogbori. Okay, sorry, forgive me. It's CB Lokonga I was trying to talk. Everybody say, Awilo Lokonga, not Tavares. I'm gonna calm down now. Demola Ibrahim Abiodun say, that's Saka Gosha. I love it. All right. It's on that note of loving the Saka goal that we pack it and go and sleep. Remember, tomorrow night is another opportunity for us to be here again and talk about the game. So there'll be MPFA game. There'll be a whole lot of other games that we can talk about. Until then, my name is Idafi Matthew. You love to call me the Legoto on the Sports. Thank you very much for sharing your time with me. 1 hour is a very long time. 1 hour, 2 minutes plus now that we've been on the show. Let's do it again tomorrow night, and I hope that we'll have a lot more people. But for everyone who drop a comment, thank you and God bless you. Have for yourself a wonderful night. Demola Ibrahim Abiodun, you are the contributor of the night. Thank you for so many contributions in terms of your comment on the comment section. God bless you and have a wonderful night. Like I always say, don't be the problem, try and be the solution. If you can't fix it, please don't stand in the way of those that are fixing it. Have a wonderful night. Sleep. For those of you in Nigeria and those of you in other places, have a good time working and have fun. Bye-bye.